What up, G's? It's your boy Prophecy. For today, we're gonna bring in the CoolTouch-R. There's different additions to it, but this is the R version, and we're gonna talk a little bit why I got this. So this is a module that controls fans in your system. So I had a question on somebody if your motherboard doesn't have any controls, then you have to put some physical manual controls in there, and this is a really good thing to do. I actually have it behind me on the machine already set up, but today I'm gonna demo it, and I found a way how to demo this stuff to you guys so you guys can see it firsthand how it works. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna unwrap this bad boy. When you buy it, it's not very expensive, very cheap. Buy it in Amazon probably for like, I think it's going about 20-30 bucks right now. Yeah, $36, that's how much it's going for right now. It's not a bad thing, but it's something that you want to maybe look into. And this one has multiple connections, so you could connect multiple fans in here. It has 3 different types of speed: low, mid, and high. You could control up to 4 fans. It has an LCD touchscreen, USB 3.1, a card reader also too. That's a plus. If you guys have those memory cards, SD cards, want to read it in there, it's perfectly. And it has a 3.1 USB. So let's go ahead and find out what you need to connect this, and let's get it going. So first of all, the box, what they include, they give you pretty much just the screws themselves, some sticky tabs, so you could actually double side tape that you're gonna require. You could label stuff too. You can actually label things with this. A manual, who needs it? And then the piece of resistance. Here you go. So that's pretty much what's in the box, right? So let's move the box to the side and let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Red bag, it's kind of cheesy, red bag. So don't know why, what's the reasons on this. So here goes a couple of things that we have to do. First of all, you need a USB 3.0 connection on your motherboard. It might be taken by your tower, so this might not be an option. If you guys see it in here, it's actually this module right here, this blue cable. That's a USB 3.0. On this other connections, there's various connections here. Here's for the fans, and here's the multiple parts of the power supplies. Every single power supply is going to require a fan connection. So you have 1, 2, 3 sets right here. 1 set, 2 set, and 3 right here. It's just, you know, if you have the space and you have the top, actually if you have the power supply that could accommodate this, why not? Now this is the main power to the actual touchscreen, so we're gonna need that. Here's also a temperature control, so it's a temperature control system. USB, here goes a USB connection. So you have these two. This is for the card reader, and this is for the 3.0. This is actually for the card reader right here. Most of the motherboards have extra ones, so you're not gonna have a problem connecting to this. Today we're not gonna demo that. We're just gonna demo the fans. We're gonna connect 2 fans, and we're gonna try to control the speeds in here, along included with the power. So first of all, we're gonna need a power supply to test the sucker out. And if you guys see the front of the panel, USB. Memory card and a SD flash card. This is for the micro SD cards right below it, so this is a plus, and this is gonna have to go in front of the module of your desktop, so it's pretty much gonna light up right now, and I'm gonna show you exactly how it's gonna demo here and what you need to do. Now there is a couple entries here for your actual front of the case that you need to tie in. And if you guys see it, they're located right here. There's different sizes. They give you 3 different punch holes in here on the side of it, and of course the front touch panel. And I'm not even gonna remove this yet. I'm not even gonna use this probably. I don't have a tower that could accommodate this stuff, but I'm working on it. Trust me, I'm working on one right now. So we're gonna try to see if we could get a panel going. For now, we're gonna go ahead and turn this bad boy up, and of course temperature control. Like I said, it gives you temperatures, and you could speed up. It has 3 different speeds for the actual fan. So let's go ahead and set up 2 fans for now and see how this works. For demo purposes, we're going to use this Flex ATX power supply 300. It's a really tiny one. I have everything ready. So pretty much we're going to open it up. I'm going to put the power supply here. I'm going to put the box around the side because I'm going to put it back together. So in order for me to test it out in front of you guys, I got 2 fans ready here. 2 different fans. We're going to zoom out a little bit more so you guys can see everything on what I have. And I don't recommend you guys doing this because you don't want to mess with power. When it comes down to power, it's just like there's a couple things that you don't want to mess with. So let's go ahead and plug this bad boy in first. All right, so we're gonna power this power supply. It's a 300 watts power supply. Really small. I like it. I used it for other stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and the only bad thing is you gotta have these old module connections too. I mean, that's something that it's not part of it, but you have to have at least a couple of them to connect to power it up. So that's something that kind of didn't throw me off on it. You know, this is too much of it. So we're gonna go ahead and spread these out. We're gonna try not to, you know, take too much of the power supplies, and this one doesn't have that many modules. It only has one, two. I see one, two modules right here. So we're gonna only power 2 fans right now. So we're gonna plug this sucker in. The only reason I'm plugging them all in first because I'm gonna power up in a bit, and I just don't want to get electrified if something happens. I'm afraid of electricity, so that's kind of like everybody should be. So we're gonna plug the sucker in here. We're gonna put it a little bit away from everything. We're gonna plug it in. I have a power connection right in front of me. Okay, power's in. We're gonna stretch this sucker out, this cable. There's a power module in the front that I'm gonna connect in a bit, but I'm not connecting it yet until I feel comfortable that everything's connected. Now we're gonna trick the system. We're gonna put this thing in here, thinking it's a loop. If you guys see, it's a loop on it. We're gonna trick it so you can power it all up. And this is the motherboard connection. That's the only way you're gonna be able to. So you basically loop ends 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 connecting on the top of it. If you haven't seen this, you can make this yourself. But if you're not familiar with it, don't mess with this. So pretty much it's ready to go. We power those things, 2 suckers. Now we still need one more module, which I'm looking for, and I think I need the power supply for this one. So on this one right here in particular, we're looking for one module that goes, and I think I'm gonna have to power only 1 fan because I don't have enough power here. This is a smaller fan, and we're gonna control 1 fan only. So let me power 1 connection for now. Okay, there's one. Gonna move all this stuff away from each other. 1 fan should be powered up, and it's gonna be this fan here. And we might be able to power everything up with that 1 power, but don't want to take my chances. So this module has a 3-point pin. Plug one in. There's a Corsair fan. Let's see if I could plug in another one. Why not? It might power it up. I think we only need 1 power, but it might be daisy chained together. But you have to separately connect all 4 fans, of course, to get that connection. So here's another one. I'm gonna keep all this away from each other. The power away from it, except for the modules that need to be connected. And I'm not going to connect it to USB, so there's not going to be any USB information. So we're just going to power it up here, and we're going to control these 2 modules, see how well it works. So let's go ahead and power it up. I pretty much got everything set up right now, and all we have to do is plug it in, and it's going. It's working. So let me zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see it. I got the 2 fans here side by side. Ooh, it's nice and fresh too. So the 2 fans are I'm gonna see if I can make some more room without disturbing the electrical panel, and it's going. So here we have, I'm gonna face it up now. If you guys can see it, it's pretty neat. Like, it tells you that there's 2 you can actually connect off 3 fans with the same power. So they're all daisy chained together. So let me remove this front panel so I can see a little bit better. And then in front of it, it's right now it says fan 1 and fan 2. So right now, speeds, colors, look at the colors. We're changing the colors here. That's actually better. The green, I can see it better. Oh, the blue looks nice. That blue looks sweet. But I think the green is better, so we could actually see it. That's a lot better. So the green is a lot better. And then we're gonna control this, the actual it's on high right now. See? That's number 3. I could control number 3, which is this one right here. Number 3 is at 0, so I was able to stop this one completely. Look at that. I'm able to stop that one. It's at 0. And then I'm going to give it more power. High, medium, high. So that one, number 3, is done, and this one right here that actually is fan number 2. It's the one I can't get to. So let's go ahead and see if we could do fan number 2. So for some reason, this fan right here, number 2, it's not even registering. It's weird. It's not even going through. I've been trying. It registers 3. Oh, that's the only one. And 3 was probably because it's connected directly to the power. So it's the only reason. You're gonna need individual powers for all 4 fans either way. So this module is not made for this system like I wanted to plan it. I wanted, if it could power all 4 fans with 1 power connection, which is good, but you can't control the speed only in 1. So in order to control the speeds, you have to have, each one has to have its own power. So each module, and we're going to turn it off right now and we're going to explain a little bit more. But I see that number 3 is this picking up. If you guys see it, it looks a little different than there. It's actually spinning there. So I could control only one of them, one module, because of it's connected to the power and to the pins. The rest of them that are connected and daisy chained to that one power supply, you're not going to be able to control it unless you have its own power supply. So you could actually split one power supply and add more individual connections to these power. I believe it's 12 volts on each one. And once you individually connect every single one, you're going to be able to control the module right now. So, but for now, I'm not able to get any connection. It's only one control on one fan right now, and the rest of them should be daisy chained. So you're gonna need, each one's gonna require its own power. So we're gonna talk a little bit more. Let's go ahead and power this off. This module, to make it fully compatible and workable like you want it, it's gonna require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections, power connections. And if your power supply does not have those connections, you could still work it, but if you connect one of them, you could connect, every single fan will work out of that one power. You're okay with that, but you're only going to be able to control one power supply. Whoever's connected to the power, that's the only way you're going to be able. The other ones are going to run at full capacity, full high. There's no controlling on that. Now this one is important. This is going to be for the actual module to even display in the front. So if you guys see it, LED lights are perfect and beautiful, but then you still need all this stuff to connect. So you're going to need 5 connections to make it 100% workable. And the only bad thing is also too is if you don't have a free USB, 2 free USB ports, one 3.0 and the other one actual connection that connects to the module so you could read the memory cards, you're not going to be able to use this module too. So it's very demanding. I mean, not a lot of power that's needed, but there is, there's a lot of needs for this thing to work 100%. That's why this module is pretty inexpensive, pretty cheap. It's all built-in one, but it's just, to be honest with you, it's demanding a lot of more resources on your motherboard. So if you don't have this USB 3.0 connecting available, because it might be used by the tower, and most of the times it's used by the tower because there's always connections in front of the tower, you're not going to be able to use this module if that's the case. Second of all, if your secondary USB that's in your motherboard is also taken, because sometimes, like I said, towers take a lot of additional connections, you might not be able to connect the connection for your slot, your SD slot reader. Now powering this whole thing up, touching it was a little difficult. It took me some time to actually mess around with it. You guys see that I was touching it here and there and it wasn't working. It was not very responsive. All right, so it took a while. Now I did power it up and I did like a live view so you guys could see it. But all these power sources are very, it's just a lot of resources. You're going to recommend that you buy maybe a different power supply if you don't have the connections on the power supply. Or you might need some converters, power converters, SATA power converters into these 12 volt converters, all right? So you could work, if you have one, you could work all fans, but you're only going to be able to control one fan. And that's the only bad thing about this module system. I mean, they have better ones out there. This is not those better ones. I actually have the one I have sitting back there. It's a lot better than this one. I don't have this 2 connections. It's not necessary if you want to, but this is a plus too. If you have it in your front of the computer, if you have the slots, why not use it? So they do have modules for USB to additional USBs and built-in PCI cards that you connect this to. but it's just taking more resources. And the whole idea was to minimize my resources on the motherboard and make everything compatible and make it less cabling. That's what I was trying to avoid. But this is a lot of work, and it will work fine for those people that want something like that fancy in front of the computer. I mean, it's more of a show thing, but also if you want to control more of the speeds, if you have those computers that recommend that they're overclocking and stuff like that, this is probably something you want to get. But like I said, if you're there, you're gonna need the resources by getting more power supply. And this power supply I have here is a small little individual that only has 1 or 2 slots, and actually it has 2 of these power supplies, and it's just power connections, and it's just not enough for this. So you need a larger power supply, and the newer ones don't even have that many options. If you buy an ATA or ATX or Corsair, you're gonna, or a Thermaltake, you're not gonna get too many of these. I mean, you could buy the modules and convert them, but you got to make sure you get these 12 volt connections at least, because that's pretty much what you're gonna require for each fan if you want to control each fan. If you don't, if you just want to run them and have them constantly go high, it's up to you. Keep your cool system, there's nothing wrong with it. It's gonna be working out of the same power supply, but make sure you do have the power on your motherboard to accommodate all these things. That's about it. So if you guys like what you guys see, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. I'm your host, Prophet74, and we are out.